Hello, in this video I will give you stories from my life. These are my journal entries from the year 2001, the year my daughter was born, and also I was reading Tony Robbins, the motivational speaker, the coach, life coach. What shaped my life? 1. I was seen as a thing, green eyes versus a person. Alright, so yes, girls liked me because of my green eyes. However, that's not such a bad thing. 2. Let them go was my motto. Don't hurt them. So I only got the well, well, I won't say this one. I let a lot of girls go, but it's because I didn't want to hurt them. And by hurting them, I mean that I didn't have any job skills. I didn't have any money skills. So I will make why make love to a girl and then she leaves you because you don't have shoes, you don't have a car, you don't have uh, that one comes from my pain as a child, from being a son without a dad. It was difficult for me. I didn't want to, my life was difficult. I didn't want to cause that pain on my children. I didn't want my kids to be all over the place with different women, and then my children would not spend any time with me. And the children wouldn't have a dad. So many of these girls came for me. I was 14 years old. I remember because I was the same age as the girl. She said, I'm 14. The other one said, I'm 16. And I didn't have sex with them. And both of them, a few months later, showed me, or maybe a year later, showed me their babies. And I said, oh, beautiful. Congratulations. I knew they wanted me, but I didn't go for them. So I would have had a baby at 15 years old and 15 years old. In today's society, you could get in trouble for having sex if you're 16 and the other one's 14 or things like that. All right, 3. What shaped my life? Hispanics are drunks without shirts. They have no manners. Well, yes, if you live in an environment. Uh, One priest, we used to go to the Catholic Church, he said, this is a ghetto. So if you live in that environment, yes, Hispanics appear to be drunks. But so are the white people, and so are the black people, sometimes. I don't understand how they have money for beer, though. They must be working drunks. Uh, the homeless guy, he was a drunkard. He appeared to be a drunkard. So he appeared to be Hispanic, but some of these Hispanics, they don't speak Spanish anymore in Chicago. All right. What shaped my life? I missed out on Jacqueline and Gladys Matamoros. All right. Jacqueline was the first girl I my heart just leaped for her. But it was my eyes leaped for her. She was just so beautiful. And Gladys was my first girlfriend in Honduras at 15 years old. All right, what shaped my life? It's sad. You like these girls, but then you don't marry them, and you don't really. Um, there was no sex involved with either one of these two because I was on vacation in Honduras and I didn't want to leave any kids behind. So then I got started eventually at 16 in Chicago, but I didn't even know what was happening. Passion takes over. What shaped my life? Number 5. Why did I live in ghettos? What bothered me was that I was obedient, polite, and everyone else was a punk. Yes, not everyone else. Yeah, there were some very nice old people there, but they don't talk to you. But you see a lot of bullies. You see a lot of violence. You see a lot of gangs. At least when I was living in Chicago, there were gangs there. What shaped my life? 6. High school means nothing. I'm not worth anything above minimum wage after it. And there was no self-discovery either. Now I'm writing this when I'm about 29, 30 years old. 7. Jimmy Phipps, he's the one that had that course I wanted to sell, Paymaster Multifax, which was not a religious course. It was a money management or a thinking course about what to do with money and what to do with your time. And you could sell it to other people and make $100. I think you sold it for $129. So he really sold his course for $29, and then $100 was the commission. Jimmy Phipps taught me that time is the only thing I own, and that the deck of cards is crooked. The lifestyle here is crooked, but his message has bad static. All right. Now, Jimmy Phipps was a Christian, but not the type that is the Jehovah's Witnesses. In the Jehovah's Witnesses, there is no cursing, and Jimmy Phipps used to be bothered by politicians that robbed people and actually some politicians actually put people in jail. So I didn't get involved with politics because nobody taught me. What is a governor? I don't know. What is a mayor? I don't know. What is a senator? I don't know. What is a representative for a state representative? Nobody spoke to me about these things. The only thing my mother said, I think, is that she was a Republican and that I had to vote. So she forced me. I voted one time. She forced me and took me to a place to vote, all black area, all black people, and she takes me there. Her boyfriend says, "Don't go over there. I know it's close to our house, but don't go over there. Go to the other place. Don't go at that time. Go in the morning." I mean, so many things that my mother would disobey. But nobody hurt me when I went to vote. But again, racism is everywhere, and you should not put yourself in those bad situations. When you're the only white person, the only black person, you shouldn't put yourself in that situation. Now, the Jehovah's Witnesses actually don't vote. Because when I did go to vote at 18 years old, I said, well, I don't know any of these judges. I don't know if I should leave them here or vote for them or get them off. So I didn't want to vote and be uninformed. I didn't know anything about anybody. I didn't know what a Democrat was or a Republican was in this country. What shaped my life? Number 8. Tony Robbins taught me to believe in myself and to use my brain for better results. You could have negative thoughts or you could have positive thoughts. The Bible says you cannot have two masters. You listen to the devil or the negative thoughts, or you listen to God. I have thoughts to prosper you and give you abundance. So we are supposed to grow. What shaped my life? 9. Glenn W. Turner taught me. Glenn W. Turner. He was Man of the Year in 1972 when I was born. He's one of my friends on Facebook. He's still alive. Glenn W. Turner taught me that I must find out if I'm a triangle, a circle, or a square. Which am I? And then I'm supposed to work in that field or I'll never be happy. I am a teacher. Right now, I didn't graduate from a college. All right, I did, but I didn't pay my own money. Okay, so there's a story to that. But the thing is, I don't have a teaching degree. I don't have any degree. And I do want one, just so that I can teach. But that door has closed temporarily. So what I will do is I will focus on learning about the Bible, which is something I always wanted to do. And I believe that if you have problems, you can fix them with Bible verses. Read the Bible, pray, talk to God, study the Bible, and you will fix your life. Where do I belong? I belong in Honduras or in some other country outside the United States, because I belong where I can be used. I am a light. I'm going to go take light to areas of the world that don't have light. For instance, literally, there is no electricity in San Juan de la Honduras. And I believe that in the next few years, I will learn something valuable, such as carpentry, and then I can go to Honduras and help out somebody. Because it's boring to just be watching videos and videos all day long. I do need to get out of the house. Now, I don't go anywhere here because you could walk all over the place and not see anyone in the United States. But in Honduras, people still talk to each other as far as neighbors. I mean, there's one neighbor in the boondocks where there is no electricity. Every 5 to 10 minutes, there's probably a little house. It's a humble home with no electricity, and they cook with wood from tree branches and things. If I can help them somehow, then I would enjoy that lifestyle. Everybody has time. The kids from high school, they're home by 12 noon because they don't give you food over there in the school. So, and the good thing is that they talk to you. The kids say hello. You know, the teenagers, one time there were like 3 of them or 2 at least, because they used to come over and, oh yeah, the other one was the little boy that my mother-in-law took in, this baby that was 8 years old now, 8 years later. And the other boys used to come over and say hello after school because there's just nothing to do. Alright. What shaped my life? Number 10. My mom scared. I'll put me, because I wasn't a Christian when I wrote this. Scared the heck out of me. Oh, my mom scared the hell out of me. Alright, that's what it says. And taught me not to do that to my daughter. Yes, my daughter is definitely, I believe, not afraid of me. My son is not afraid of me. Because I was terrified of my mother. I believe I told a girlfriend to have an abortion, and I looked up the place where she could go have an abortion, because I was afraid of my mother finding out. Can you imagine that? How much fear I had? So I don't recommend an abortion. I don't know if the girl did go through it or not, or she was lying to me or not. I never saw any baby in her belly. At least the belly never got bigger. And we did think about suicide that day that she said she went. We were on top of this tall building at what do you call that? The condominium, which has a balcony. And we looked. It's a beautiful place, but the only thing on our mind is, well, what did you do? She went by herself, she said, if I understand correctly, if she was not lying. So the only thing on our mind was guilt. All right? So I would say have your children, because sometimes you say, this person hurt me, I'm going to get him back. Or like my wife, she bothered me and I did something to the car. I put sand in the motor, because she's always driving all over the place. I said, well, if I put sand in this motor, she won't go anywhere. And then we don't have a car. That's great, because then we'll fix up our bicycles and we could go shopping on bicycles. Like I see it on YouTube videos, and in other countries people do it. But that didn't happen. What happened was she bought a new car. Not a used car, a used minivan. And the main thing that happened was that I did put the sand in the motor, but it made me guilty. I felt the conscience kick in. And then I was guilty, and I told her. I said, don't tell her, don't tell her, don't tell her. But I did confess my sin. All right. The car was old and was going to die anyway, but I just wanted to hurry it up. But at the same time, one book said, the man that drinks alcohol is not as good as the man that puts sand in the motor of his car. Is not as wise, because you can do that to a machine, right? You destroy the machine. However, don't destroy the body God gave you by putting alcohol, mixing it with your blood. That's what one book said from LibriVox.org. These books are written 100 years ago or more. They're in the public domain, which means that they're free to listen to. What shaped my life? Number 11. I want a woman like Jacqueline. Perhaps I'll find in in Santo Domingo, or even in Honduras. Well, Jacqueline was in Honduras. But I must get rich first. Plus, I must get stronger. All right, so I did find one like her. This is my current wife. However, my wife has changed. She has become a bully. So therefore, in my mind, I always go back to Jacqueline, and I remember her as she was at 14 years old. Beautiful, gorgeous. What shaped my life? The pain of regret, not marrying Jacqueline. Instead, I married this young lady here. But the only problem with this one is that she changed. Now, she might be changing again, because I am behaving like Gandhi. I keep a very serious face. I stay in this room. And I read the Bible. And this has made the wife not yell at me, because I don't tell her what I'm thinking. The wife says something, and I tell her I will not answer that question. Because if I answer that question, then she gets upset. Did our son eat? I will not answer that question. I don't answer that question, because then she says, why didn't you feed him? And I'm like, look, he's got his stomach. He knows he's hungry. If he needs my help, he knows I will help him. But if I answered something like that, then this wife gets upset and starts yelling at me. You see, sometimes she wants to treat him like he was a baby. And I'm preparing my son for my death. As soon as I'm dead, I said, the only thing you got to do is to read the Bible. If I drop dead on you, all you got to do is read the Bible and study it. And this will fix your problems. So all of these videos, I'm happy that they help you. However, if you can make some video yourself for your children or grandchildren so that they understand all the problems that you did, and I'm giving you the bad things I did, the good things I did. Writing a journal is very good. It tells you how far you've come. Even if you learned a painful lesson like the abortion incident, learn from it. Repent. Ask for God's forgiveness, which He already gave us. But I still repent, and I say, it's like you realize the wrong things you've done. What shaped my life? Number 12, and there are two more, 12 and 13. I love the conversations with Isabel, but she's gone most of the time back to Panama. So that goes with number 13. I love Firestar. I love Firestar. I do love Isabel. I do love Anna. I do love Rose, Jacqueline. Jacqueline 1988 is how I remember her. Rose was 22 when I met her. She got away because I couldn't find her house. In Miami, all their houses looked the same. I didn't have the number. Mercedes got away big time. She didn't pay her phone bill. And then when I went to her house, she had moved. So a lot of these, some girls got away, others didn't get away, others, Romaine, she was Haitian. Romaine? I don't remember her last name. You gotta write down your women's last name, otherwise you won't be able to remember them. Make a Facebook account and write their names. But better yet, do it the Jehovah's Witnesses way, where you marry the girl that you really, you don't just love her, but you think that you will get along well with her. For instance, if she's a Jehovah's Witness, she's supposed to be respectful to her husband. So that's my life so far. 2001, and now we're in 2014, and that's what happened in my life. I wrote this piece of paper here. What shaped my life? I've told you some of my personal things. I think that no one's going to give me a job as far as like, let me see your resume, and then they look me up and they see all of these videos. No one's going to give me a job. I've been Baker acted twice. No one's going to give me a job, and I don't want a job. Money would be beneficial, but a job I don't. What I want is the opportunity to help people. Because if you go to school and you learn nothing, you learn math and things that are cute. However, as Booker T. Washington said, at this school, we won't teach you the name of some mountain in Africa. At this school, we teach you 3 things: intelligence. No one should have to tell you what to do every 2 minutes. Sweep the floor. Then 2 minutes later, mop the floor. You don't need that. You already know. Sweep the floor, then mop it. Go wash the mop, put it away. Keep looking for something else to do. You know you're going to the airport? Check the oil before you go. Check it the day before. Put your suitcases by the door. I'm not supposed to say bad things about people. However, I remembered an old man came to take my mother to the airport. And what happened? He took her to the airport. Then she called and said, "Where is her suitcase?" She had 2 of them apparently. She left it on top of the bed. Because the old man... Yes, I did know that she had left her suitcase on top of the bed. But I'm not her valet. You know, there's a time that in my life, I've done so many things for my mother. She's done more for me, of course. However, as one guy told me, David Rambaran, he told me, "Why do you carry 2 briefcases, like to go to all these meetings? Your mother should carry her own." And that was very true. If she is a businesswoman, she should carry her own books or her own briefcase. I'm carrying both of them. She wanted me to drive her all over the place, which is nice, but I didn't want to go to 4 meetings a week. So each of us must be strong enough. If there's no health reason, the person is able to carry her own suitcase. For instance, when we went to Europe, they told the girls, before you go, take a suitcase and be sure you're able to carry it, because the boys are not going to be carrying your suitcase. A kitten wants to come in. Meow. Yes, she's answering. I think I know which one it is too. Can you believe it? I recognize the kitten's voices of the kittens. Be better than I am. If you need help, contact me. And if you don't want to contact me, right? Whoa, who's Daniel? What you can do is, meow, come in. Meow, come in. Push the door. Meow, meow. I'm going to have to move. What you can do is just memorize the Bible verses, and this way you will fix your life. The third thing that Booker T. Washington taught was intelligence, skilled hands, carpentry, bricklaying. And the third thing was morality. Don't go out at night. Don't go with a prostitute. Don't gamble. Get out of the city. There are too many problems in the city. Get out of the city. He also said, go help someone, even a white person. Booker T. Washington was born a slave, and somehow he became a rich man, in my mind, because he went to Europe. and he was the leader at this school. God bless you.